How much would your life change if you knew every single time someone told you a lie? Even if that someone was you. Lies like, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you can't own a business, and you definitely will never make more than you did in your old corporate job. Get ready to be proactive, passionate, productive, and oh so profitable in a way you never before experienced by opening your eyes to the Big Fat Lies Show. Now, here is your host of Big Fat Lies, success sorceress, and entrepreneurial spiritual mentor, Jennifer Kramer-Lewis.
Oh my goodness, you guys, welcome back to 5 tips to manage and grow your business even as a deeply empathic being. So before the break, we were talking about your heart and how your heart can actually take a beating. It's actually stronger than your brain. It's stronger than your emotions. And it's here to deeply connect with the planet. It's here to deeply connect with the people who are here to deeply connect with you. And so if you're like, oh, my poor heart, I got to take care of my heart. No, freaking take that thing out. Your heart is like an amazing sports car. There's like only one thing to do with an amazing sports car, and it's not to keep it in mothballs. Drive the shit out of that thing. Have so much freaking fun. And so the second thing that I want to talk to you guys about is actually taking charge, being the freaking boss of your emotions, of your empathic abilities. 50% of the people on the planet are something that's called an emotional authority. So this is according to human design. This is one of the modalities that I have in my modality garage. One of my sports cars is called human design. And then there's also an offshoot of that called gene keys. And I've been studying this with the masters for 3.5 years now. And I would say it's really freaking cool. So one of the things is 50% of the population of the planet are what is called an emotional authority. So these people feel 50 shades of gray, 50 shades of teal, 50 shades of red, 50 shades of purple, like the full freaking spectrum of emotions. And so that's everything from, so deepest, darkest despair, like where are the bullets, to absolute freaking elation, like ecstasy, bliss, and everything that's in between. And so if that's you, if you are an emotional authority in your human design chart, how do you find out? You just go on to any web browser, type in free human design chart, and then you put in your birth details, where you were born, what time you were born, your birthday, and it will say what your authority is. So there's a bunch of different kinds of authorities, but we're talking about emotional authority right now. So you need to take charge of that. This might be a take you to church moment. Like, your emotions are not for other people. Your emotions are a barometer of what it is that you need to pay attention to in your life. So you might be like, oh my God, Jennifer, all of these people are just being so terrible to me. I have no control over my emotions. They are triggering me all the time. Yeah, they probably fucking are. But you cannot trigger someone who can see the triggers coming. You can't. I'm like really not triggerable these days. I'm like, whoa. You can use that empathy. You can use that empathic ability to know who's coming to trigger you. Like if it's a family member that's constantly triggering you, you are the one who's responsible for, what's the best way to describe this? So imagine you have a light switch in your house that when it flicks, like an air raid siren goes off in your house. Like imagine you have that. And so, every once in a while, a guest, like flicks that switch and scares everybody to death. Or your little kids are like, ooh, I'm going to flick that switch, and scares everybody to death. If you have a switch like that in your body, in your aura, in your emotions, then you are the person who's responsible for removing that switch. Does that make sense, you guys? If you have a trigger, you know what your fucking trigger is, then don't allow people to flick it. Just don't even allow them to flick it. Just be like, okay, cool. Yes, that used to be a trigger for me. And now the people who love to play with that switch are actively removed from my life. If I tell them once, hey, don't flick that, and they go ahead and flick it, then consequences. Yeah. So part of taking charge of the situation is setting consequences with people who do the thing that is a trigger to you, that really wears on your empathic ability. So I would say, just don't do it. Don't allow people to flick your switch. One of the things that I say is you can always spot a bulldozer coming. Like, they move that slow, and they have all the bells and whistles, they've got that beep 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 noise, so if you get flattened by a bulldozer, it's you that got flattened by the bulldozer. But that said, you have to become conscious enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have so much empathy for people who keep getting flattened. I really do. And I would say that a good part of working with me, like, it may even be like the first 3 months that we work together, that, those switches become more obvious and more obvious and more obvious. And then we develop really great strategies for dealing with the triggers. And, and then you have a mentor, you have a champion, you have a cheerleader, that every time you manage to diffuse these switches, to unhook them, or to even remove people from your life who are bent on playing with those switches, then you're just moving into you being you at the optimum level. Because you're not here to be triggered. You're not here to be so emotional that you can't even do your life. You're just not. And it may be, like, if all the emotions are welcome, and when you are with me, all the emotions are welcome, even though I say your emotions are for you, when you are an emotional being, which is 50% of the population, then working with a mentor, working with somebody who cares about you, who cares about your business, who can see the giant cosmic picture, is the best thing that you can do. So taking charge of the situation looks like, okay, I'm not feeling that way anymore. I'm tired of being upset. I'm tired of being mad. I'm tired of being victimized. I'm tired of not having enough energy for my business because my personal life is going off the rails, or I'm tired of my business being so fucking successful that it's putting my personal life off the rails. Like, I do actually have quite a few clients that come in that their business is too successful. And, it's first world problems, but if you are here to have a super successful business, you are not here to have it erode your personal life or like wreck you. I would say absolutely fucking not. Yeah. So that's number 2. Take charge of the freaking situation. Be a grown-up, get support, and know that if you are an emotional being, then you're in great company. That's why all the wars happen on this planet. Emotional authority people causing wars with other emotional authority people. That's why all the, conflict. So if you know how to handle your emotions, and your partner knows how to handle their emotions, and that you're not like busy like launching grenades at one another filled with emotion, then what you can have is a full spectrum experience. Love, passion, It's like so fucking sexy. And it doesn't have to be that you are in conflict because you have these emotions. It's time to just freaking take charge of the situation as an empathic being. So what's number 3? Number 3 is to just come clean with yourself. Come out of the closet. You're like, wow, I'm really an empathic being. And get to the bottom of the level of empathic ability that you have. Now, there's a lot of stuff on the internet right now about childhood trauma and about attachment styles. And so I would totally recommend that you have a look at your attachment style. Totally recommend that you have a look at your childhood in a safe space with somebody who you feel safe with, who can help you sort of disseminate that aspect of it. Because that empathic ability, when it becomes at a psychic level, like mine, actually comes from childhood trauma. So not everybody has the ability to read people's minds. Not everybody has the ability to read the room. Not everybody has the ability to know, what's going on in Australia with their client when they live in Canada, or what's going on in Great Britain. Like not everybody is like us. So know that for yourself. And, come clean with the ability to be able to be an empath, like read minds, read emotions, read a room, and know that there are some unhealed aspects of you that have allowed this to come true. So people with beautiful, secure childhoods with parents who just like wrap them in their arms and, who weren't told, go to your room and suck it up, or whatever these like 1970s, 1960s, maybe even 1980s parenting style. So this empathy or empathic ability is a little person who needed to learn to read the room to make sure that they were safe. And so you've gone ahead, there's no right or wrong, because we do sign up for whatever happens to us on Earth University. We sign up for it. We sign up for how we're going to look and how we're going to sound and who we're going to like incarnate with and what kind of traumas that we're going to receive. So no right or wrong. But also know this for yourself, that being an empath is a result of childhood trauma. And so really, really important to go into some, deconditioning process. Gentle with your little self that learned how to be an empath to stay safe. Super gentle with them. Give them a freaking long time to come out of this deconditioning process. And your empathy is not going to go away. It's not going away. And all of your psychic abilities, they're not going away. They're already formatted on your hard drive. So after the break, we're going to talk about more about being an empath in business and how to profit from your empathic abilities instead of running around doing what I call step and fetch. So my name is Jennifer Kramer Lewis. We are on the Inspired Choices Network. The show is called Big Fat Lies. Please join me after the break.
Do you want to know what the biggest, fattest lie is in the whole world? Jennifer Kramer Lewis has discovered, after working with hundreds of conscious, heart-centered entrepreneurs, that they believe in the lie that if you work harder, smarter, and faster than everyone else, only then will you be rewarded with success. Jennifer audaciously stakes claim that what is pleasurable for you will always be your direct route to the big bucks. Jennifer knows working this hard is robbing you of your dream life. What would you say if she gave you the keys to the Ferrari called your correct energy? What would change if you had a burnout-proof business plan, a juicy switched-on energy field calibrated by correct business practices, as well as Jennifer's success sorcery, deep psychic awareness, and support? The investment for this process is 1/6 what Jennifer's VIP level clients pay. Why? Jennifer believes that once you have this information, you become limitless. And that's exactly what this planet needs more of. Choose your limitless life and business at 888.jenniferkramerlewis.com. That's 888.jenniferkramerlewis.com.
Have you ever said to yourself, I knew I shouldn't do that? How did that feel? What did you make that mean about you? Success sorceress and entrepreneurial spiritual mentor, Jennifer Kramer Lewis, stands for you being deliciously ambitious, passionately productive, oh so profitable, and creating a life that is truly delightful in every area. Tune in to Big Fat Lies, Mondays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. Eastern on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com to open your eyes to the big fat lies that are keeping business owners like you from being the bright, shining beacons that you came here to be.